Guten Tag, wie geht's? Ich bin Dieter, c'est moi, Dieter, mes amis. Bonjour. Dieter has a special guest today because he's mostly about guitar, and guitar is channel is guitar centric, and life in general, occasionally. So Dieter has a special guest who came, who is a rock star and a legend in his own mind, and a man outstanding in his field. Dieter saw him once in a field in Stratford, and he was outstanding there with his two dogs. Three dogs at the time. This rock star had a dog named Rudy, Mika, and Stuka at the time. Make a good album cover. He'll have to find that picture. Anyway, you may or may not be aware of this guy. He's a well-known studio musician, legend in his own mind. Here we have. He simply goes by the name Rockstar. So, without further ado, let's have Rockstar. Hi, thanks for having me on, Data. Good to be here. Man, these studio lights are very bright. Do you mind if I put on my glasses? So yeah, I'm going to tell you a bit about my journey into being a rock star. I think I always wanted to be a rock star or a racing car driver. And bloody hell, my good American Zippo lighter doesn't work. So I'll have to use these matches. I hope you don't mind if I smoke, I mean. After all, I am a rock star. Eagle Rare. Well, in my mind, it's Eagle Rare. This is Moo Cow, but it identifies as Eagle Rare. So you may wonder how I got started on my journey. Well, when I was a boy, the Beatles were a big thing, but I actually like my first record was Hermits. I like Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter. You know, and I'm standing in the corner of the street in case a pretty certain little lady comes by. Oh me, oh my. Anyway, that's a story for another day. My grandfather taught himself how to play the organ, and he wanted me to play the organ, but I just didn't feel connected to the keys, right? Guitar felt more organic and, comfy to me. It's like, I like things made of wood. So, it was a tough journey at first. I got, I had trouble getting a guitar because my parents really couldn't afford one. I think our first guitar was, I had an older brother, he played. And this is a funny story, actually a true story. My dad, lovely guy, he went and got a Stella, it was called, a Stella guitar, from a pawn shop for $5. And man, that thing was painful. And I always wanted to play. But my older brother was pretty good, and I couldn't get it out of his hands. We were supposed to share it. Okay, bad idea. Parents, those of you who can, if you have two kids that want to play guitar, get them both a guitar. I remember once my dad came in and goes, and he didn't want to pay for me to get guitar lessons because I wanted to take lessons. My brother was more naturally gifted at that than me. It was always been a struggle for me, you see. So, he said, you don't practice. I said, I can't practice because my blooded brother has the guitar all the time. And he's older and stronger than me. I don't want to fight him over it. But I couldn't get, he loved it, right? Good on him. He became quite good. Not as famous as Dieter, though. Hard work pays off. So, actually, that sparked me. My first job was at a Kentucky Fried Chicken, and decided to save my money. And I went in and I bought an $800 guitar. My dad thought I was nuts. He goes, well, why'd you do that? I remember him opening the door. He would deny this if he was here today. But I was practicing, and it was painful. I kept making the same mistake. And he just opened the door and looked at me and he said, "You might as well give that up because you'll never be good enough, for every good guitar player here, there's 100 good ones in the United States," which is probably true. Right? Yeah, so I said, you know what? It pissed me off. I never said anything, but it made me practice more. And I got to the point where I became a legend in my own mind. And that helps because you have to have a bit of guts to perform in public, which is something I had trouble with. So I took, what was it? I think it was the late great Barbara Stanwyck, a fine actress in her day. I remember when William Holden, apparently a true story, was nervous, and she said, "Have a shot." So William Holden, wound up dead floating in a pool, turned into an alcoholic. So maybe that wasn't the best advice, Barbara, you could have given him. But it does take a bit of an edge off. So I'm not promoting getting blitzed before you play, but, drink responsibly, eh? So anyway, yeah. So I get asked all the time by my fans, the thousands of fans who write me every day. They go, "Well, why do you play Go Damn guitars?" And I say, "Well, because I like them." And in the words of one of my favourite guitarists, David Gilmour, they do the job. So my advice to you, budding rock stars, is get something that you like. Because if you don't like it, you're not going to play with it. And practice in front of a mirror standing up. And watch some of these great guitar players if you want to be a rock guitar player. I highly recommend Terry Kath and David Gilmour. They're just two of my favourites. There's lots of good ones. And, if you want to play acoustic style, you can look at people like Tommy Emmanuel. If you want to play country style, I recommend Vince Gill. What's his name? Don Felder from the Eagles. Man, that guy can play. He can play too. There's another good guy to watch. And Jill Walsh, I love him. He looks like he should be an NFL linebacker. So I'm going to cut it short because, I've got some engagements to do. I think there's a field somewhere that I should be outstanding in. And, I'm going to find a mind to crawl into and become a legend. So that's my advice to you all. No matter what level you're at, you're always going to find someone better than you, the same as you, or worse. So don't let that dissuade you. And if you really want to go for it. Why not, right? You may believe in reincarnation and multiple lives, but the life you're living now is this one, eh? Wiedersehen. Haben Sie eine gute Tag, ja.